Please note that since filming this video, the convention has moved to a new venue. The layout and location described in this video referred to a previous event space. However, all other information about the convention, experience, and details remain current and relevant. Enjoy.
Damon. Hello, brother.
What's up, everybody? My name is Chad Shifley, and this is my girlfriend,
Lady Natasha Fines.
and tell us a little bit about who you are.
So I have a brand. It's an adaptive clothing brand called Lady Fines Adaptive Fashion, and I design clothing for those that have physical disabilities and chronic illnesses, and it's really cute clothing, so you guys should go check it out.
The convention we're going to be talking about today is I Was Feeling Epic in Mystic Falls. Basically, it's a convention that is based off the hit television series, The Vampire Diaries. So I knew about the show when it was on air, but I never watched it. So it was only until recently, probably a half a year ago, where my girlfriend got me into watching the show because she thought that I would like it. So we ended up binge watching it. I wasn't able to finish the series before we went to the convention, but I was able to cover enough ground to get a handle on it. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I got to about season 6 and a half.
Season 6.5.
So,
Seven.
7?
Season 6. Wow, did we fly by 7? I guess
Yeah.
season 6, yeah.
But if you know anything about the Vampire Diaries, season 7 and 8, we can do without. And we were able to put together a trip to go to Covington, Georgia, which is where the show was filmed at, on location. So that was a really cool thing that we were able to see a lot of the buildings and sets and houses that they used to film the show. So
Yeah, it was great. It was amazing. And I'm secretly planning when are we going next, because there was so much that we didn't get to do. And I think we know for next time you need a couple more days.
we got admission passes. We got a couple photo ops. Obviously, we wanted to get a photo op with Ian Somerhalder and Paul Wesley, autographs with them as well. That's kind of where it started off, and then we kind of just added on to the experience after that. If you haven't been to one of these things, a lot of these conventions are pretty similar in how they operate. So they have a building, all the artists are there, actors, what have you, and they have their little booth set up, photo ops. So it's a lot of waiting in line, a lot of walking around. But this one was pretty small compared to some other conventions we went to. The first day we got there, we arrived on Thursday,
Right.
and then we had a couple hours to spare, so we went to the one building where all the vendors were and where we picked up our badges and stuff.
We definitely recommend, if you are going there for the whole weekend, to get your badges and all of your tickets before the convention starts. So that Thursday, they'll give you a heads up, but that Thursday we were able to get our badges early, and we highly recommend that, because the lines that there will be and ensue the next day when it starts, it's crazy. And also we recommend, when you're looking at hotels too, look for something near to the convention, because Ubers take a very long time to get to you.
The convention took place over the course of a weekend, and it consists of photo opportunities, autograph signings. You can get selfies with the actors as well. And then they also have panels. So the way the venue was laid out, which was kind of interesting, I don't know if you've been to Covington, Georgia, it's pretty remote and a little, what's the word you could describe it with a...
There's not much going on. I mean, it's a quaint.
Right. And you would
town.
think
Yeah.
with the fan base, the amount of traffic, just the amount of people that showed up, that they would have a somewhat a significantly larger venue
Right.
than they do in Covington. But we came to the conclusion that they pretty much want to keep the fan base and all the tourism that comes through there during that time pretty close to the town.
In between the convention to getting to the square, you will pass Elena's house, Caroline's house, all of their houses. So it's an experience. But it was funny because I had never gone and he's never gone, so we're getting to the actual convention building, and we were not, because we had just done MegaCon, and so as for those that wouldn't know what that is, it's incredibly huge. So you go from that to this convention, but I definitely love the intimacy of it. It was really cool. It's just we wish it was a little bit larger building with air conditioning to do everything.
Right, because there's pretty much just the main building where only the photo ops, autographs, selfies take place in.
Right.
The panels, the vendors, all that stuff is outside the building. So the main building is the only place that had air conditioning. It was very hot. Like I said, that amount of traffic, that amount of tourism, all the people that show up for these things, they absolutely need a larger venue, but it makes sense that they would want to keep it right next to town to benefit the economy and all those things, because obviously after everybody goes to the convention, they want to take a quick Uber or just walk to the center of town, check out the other locations. There's a lot of great stores there, quaint stores. The Mystic Grill obviously is there, which was pretty awesome, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So that's the only thing that we thought that made sense, was like that's why they keep it at that little small venue, because it definitely needs a bigger place to have it.
They did try. There is one other building that they do have some vendors in there as well, and where you get your tickets. So just so you have in mind when you plan out your trip, is there's 2 buildings. So there's like the building where the autographs and the photo ops are. Then next to it is a building where there's vendors and where you'll get your badges and your tickets. And then the panels are outside on a stage area, and then some more outside vendors.
And unfortunately, there was no photography or video allowed inside the main building.
Were you already in my line? No. Sorry, you can't be recording.
We snuck in a couple videos, but the majority of the time we weren't allowed to film inside, so that's unfortunate. So we're not going to have anything like that to share with you in terms of inside the venue.
But we will share with you our pictures that we took, our selfies that we paid for, and our photo ops, so that's worth it.
Absolutely. Okay, so Thursday we got to town, and then Friday morning we had breakfast where?
At the Mystic Grill Friday morning, and we were able to order some Damon Prison World pancakes. So that's where he's in the prison world with Bonnie, and he makes pancakes every day, and they are literally the exact ones. It was amazing. They're very good too.
The menu there obviously had Vampire Diaries options there, and Damon's pancakes was one of them. But we did also get drinks that came with little vampire teeth. So that was kind of cool.
Little things. Also, fun fact, I tried to call ahead to make reservations, and they don't do reservations call ahead. So we definitely recommend to go earlier in the day versus later on in the afternoon, especially if there's a convention. Early morning is a bit better if you're in a hurry and you have a jam-packed schedule. Definitely recommend that.
I'm sure some of you know that the exterior of the Mystic Grill was used in the show, but actually the interior is not what you see in the show. The interior is much more compact, small, so just be ready for that you're not going to walk into the Mystic Grill. But it was still very cool. It was very on brand. Highly recommend checking it out.
Yes.
And like she said, get there early, because there will be a line later on in the afternoon.
Yes, and go upstairs if you can, because upstairs they have a big Mystic Grill sign also, and some cute seats that are on brand, giving Damon and Stefan vibes for sure.
Who here has seen every single episode of Vampire Diaries? Raise your hand.
So that was our beginning of our morning, and then we did a Vampire Stalkers tour. It was at the visitor center.
They have a store in the square, but you meet at the Covington Visitor Center. Also, you do have to make reservations in advance, months in advance, especially again if there's a convention. So we got our tickets maybe like 3 months before we got there.
So it's very cool. They have entourages of vehicles, very large, elongated golf carts that can fit a bunch of people. It's pretty amazing how a lot of the main locations in terms of people's houses and things like that, they're very close, in close proximity. So in some cases, one location could be right here, and then you look across the street and that's another location. So we weren't driving very far. But once you go on the tour, you see a lot of really cool locations like the Lockwood Mansion or Lockwood Estate.
That was my favorite.
And the owner, which we learned that lives there today, was the owner that lived there when they filmed the show and basically became BFFs with like the crew and the producers and stuff, and hung out there every single time they were filming. So we did a photo op out front where we were able to stake each other, but Natasha ended up
I failed it. I really failed it.
You did great.
I did really bad. We'll insert that. I was not mentally prepared. There was a lot happening, so I was not in character.
We'll let you decide. We're not gonna put the pictures on the screen.
I tried. But it's really cool. They do give everybody an opportunity to have a photo op. The tour girls, they bring a steak. I would highly recommend to mentally prepare
They
yourself.
bring a steak.
Yes. But yeah, the other locations that we saw were Elena's house, Caroline's house,
the place where
the witches died.
You didn't say anything to Elena about the coffin, Joe.
No, I said I wouldn't.
the back of the Lockwood estate is actually where Caroline and Stefan get married. So they had that back there. And then also a lot of the parties happen out back. There's also that pretty famous scene of Caroline talking to Klaus, and he pops open a bottle of champagne, and they kind of have a cute moment together right by the water. So they have, the bench was there. We took a photo. We had a photo op at the bench also. So that was pretty cool.
That definitely my favorite, and secretly, mentally, do I want to get married there? Probably. It's pretty awesome.
There's a couple cemetery scenes throughout the show. They showed us a little area where they just erected a bunch of headstones. I did some set deck, and next you know, it's a cemetery. And then also the college campus where Elena, Bonnie, and Caroline go to school.
And then the scene where the infamous rain kissing scene with Damon and Elena. So a lot of things were filmed in this park. We know movie magic exists, but it's really incredible when you're there in person. They're like, oh, here's where the cemetery is, and then this is where they kissed, and then this is really the college area. Also movie magic, 10 out of 10 for the scenes and where they filmed it.
So this is, what did they say? This is
This is so pretend
campus?
Whitmore. So this is the pretend Whitmore campus. So where Elena, Bonnie, and Caroline go to college, and also a cemetery. So it's Whitmore College, a cemetery, and where Elena and Damon filmed a kissing scene where she remembers.
right down there.
Promise me this is forever.
And for some reason, which I don't understand, still don't, but our tour guide was a Matt Donovan hater.
Big time.
Massive hater. Made comments throughout the whole tour about how much she dislikes Matt Donovan. Matt Donovan is one of my favorite characters from the show. Don't know why he gets so much hate. There's other characters in the show that deserve that. I think the tour guide did Matt dirty.
He was not very happy. He's a huge Matt fan. Yes.
Also in the visitor center, they have a lot of props. So you can walk around while you're waiting for the tour to begin. You can walk around. They have all kinds of things from wardrobes, Damon's car. One of the couches from the Salvatore houses is there. Just a bunch of cool props that were actually used in the show.
And not just from the Vampire Diaries, but then from the originals, legacies, and then there's actually other films and TV shows that were filmed in Covington, Georgia, and they have a special place there at the Welcome Center that you can check out.
Also, the sign that says "Welcome to Mystic Falls" is right
inside.
It's in. There's two, right? There's one
two.
inside, and then there's one a replica or something outside.
Replica,
So
yeah.
that's pretty cool. What's the name of that shop that has
Which
the set in the back?
The Mercantile.
Mystic Mercantile.
The Mystic Mercantile.
There is a very cool gift shop in town called the Mystic Mercantile. And obviously the memorabilia there, clothing, hats, what have you. They also sell Miss Cuddles, Bonnie's teddy bear in different sizes, so you can get a Miss Cuddles if you want. But also in the very back, they have a recreated, restructured, pretty much an identical Salvatore living room.
Wow, this is your living room?
Living room, parlor, Sotheby's auction.
That utilizes probably, don't quote me on this number, but 98.9% of the original props from that area. So, you know, couches, there's two couches. Actually, one of them is the original one. The other one's a replica because the other original couch is in the visitor center.
Yeah.
And supposedly the visitor center refuses to relinquish it, and they hold on to their Vampire Diary props for dear life, and they don't share them with everybody else. So, but the lights, the bottles, the books, the fireplace, the mantle, chairs, other pieces of furniture, bookcases, it's a very cool experience. We recommend you do that as well. It's probably about 30 minutes. You can take some photos too.
Yeah.
But it's basically a recreated set of the Salvatore living room with the original props from the show.
Yeah, we want to shout out also the owner, Angie. So she's the owner of that store, and she's also the owner of the Mystic Grill. She's a badass boss girl. The fact that she's put so much love and effort into both of these places that us fans love so much, like you can really tell and you can really feel it. So please go support everything that she's doing. Also shout out to Auntie Antoinette. She's a family friend, and she was telling us of all the things that we need to do when we go because she's a huge fangirl herself. She's incredible.
What are you doing out there?
I'm just clearing my head.
The majority of the cast had meet and greets. So obviously we wanted to try to see if we could get Ian's meet and greet, Damon,
The man of the hour.
the man of the hour. They are a very small group, so 20 people or less, and there was 2 or 3 of them. Was it 2 or 3 Friday, Saturday, and
Yes,
Sunday?
he either had 2. All of them had like about 2 or 3.
Right. So you can only imagine how many people were waiting by their computers, cell phones, ready to spam the add to cart button when the tickets went live. We knew what day and what time the tickets were going to go live, so we had all of our laptops open, our phones open, and I was able to secure 2 tickets relatively easily. Like, we were pretty surprised when it said check out and your order has been completed, and we were like, well,
Well, it's funny because also shout out to the Epic Cons group and those that are behind it, because the amount of announcements and updates that they have all over the place, from there's a private group to their Instagram to their website, the emails, they really make sure that you're up to date and you know, like, this is when meet and greets are going to come out, this is when you need to purchase this and that, other events. And if it wasn't for us reading in the comments just how not easy it is to get some of these photo ops or meet and greets, we wouldn't have been prepared. So we were prepared. We had a couple of laptops and phones open and everything. And usually we're not like, it's not that serious, but we've been working on this show for a good like half a year now. So we needed to make this happen, and he did it.
So we go to the meet and greet. I am the only guy there, and there's about 20 people, 19 other females. The night before, we were joking because supposedly, from what we've read, which we recommend you do too, do your research, get on fan forums, the Mystic Falls Facebook pages are very helpful. But we learned that Ian loves to talk, and we also learned that it's hard to get a word in. So we were joking the night before that if he asks,
do you have any questions?
do you have any questions, opens the floor or anything, that
We say no more.
she
Yes.
was going to jump
Yes, we
in
do.
and take advantage of the opportunity. And then I was joking, saying like, because she was going to ask about her business, and he's an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur, and ask a business question. And in my head, I was thinking, well, if that's the case and he loves to talk, then the whole meet and greet is going to be about that. And that was the joke that we had the night before. So he comes in, he sits down, and he zero ins on me like ASAP and points out the fact that I'm the only guy there, and he's very appreciative, and what do you say, takes a lot of balls or whatever to be in an atmosphere like this, but I was happy to be there. And so that was kind of funny right off the bat that he kind of zeroed in on me and us. And he immediately went into just talking about just anything other than the Vampire Diaries, which was another interesting thing about the whole meet and greet, was that the whole 30-something minutes that he was talking, he didn't talk about the Vampire Diaries one time.
Yes, but we already knew that, and that's why we really recommend to look at the comments and ask others, like, hey, how was your meet and greet? Because it's nice to just be mentally prepared of what that's going to look like when you go in. So we already knew that he is most likely not going to be talking about the Vampire Diaries. We were okay with that, just because, I mean, just again, meeting someone that you've been looking up to, it's just really cool. And I was going to take the opportunity, if I could, to ask him a business question, because when do you get the opportunity to ask one of your heroes a question that you wish that you could ask them? So my life was flashing before my eyes, for sure. But another thing though is when he came in, you can tell that he was very tired. So just shout out to Ian and his team for getting him there and for him even being there, because he looked exhausted, but he was so kind already off the bat. And like Chad mentioned, did not talk much about Vampire Diaries at all. Went straight into talking about his companies, and as he should, because he's investing his time. But I'm sure the other girls that were there, maybe they're not interested in the business industry or entrepreneurs, and they genuinely are interested in talking about the Vampire Diaries. They probably were disappointed. It took him about 15 minutes to finally kind of open up. It was not even like opening up. It was like he gave us a centimeter and I took like an inch. So before he could finish his sentence of, we're here for you guys, so does anybody? And then I immediately shot up my hand and I'm like, yes, I do. And he allowed me to ask my question, which it was really just asking him, how does he get the energy to continue to do what he's doing and opening businesses when he's such a busy person? So he took up the whole time answering my question in conclusion.
Yes, he did. And not only did he answer her question, but he also was asking you
yeah.
questions about your business.
Yes, I manifested that last night, or the night before.
So that was cool. Not only did he answer the question that was asked, but he also was interested in what she was doing.
Yes.
And so that was also very, very cool. He's very knowledgeable.
Yes.
Very passionate about the areas that he's invested in, and he's
Yes.
very passionate about his businesses, as he should be. And he generally just is a very caring, compassionate individual, which was very cool. Very down to earth and just genuine.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, just so everyone knows, Ian Somerhalder officially knows what adaptive clothing is, and I'm pretty sure he had no idea before this. So for those in the disabled community, chronic illness community, he is for us, and he was very interested on that, and that was so cool to see, and you could generally feel his heart. So thank you so much.
And at the end of the meet and greet, there was time to take selfies with him, and then also you could interact and talk to him for a few minutes or whatever. So I feel like the individuals that showed up and didn't get, I guess you could say, their money's worth, I hope that was worth it, because we were able to go up to him after he was done talking, and we spent about 5 to 10 minutes with him, just shooting the shit. And then I love bourbon, I love whiskey. He has a Brothers Bond bourbon with Paul Wesley, so we were talking about that. He was genuinely interested again in what Natasha was doing, what I was doing, and it was just super cool because you meet people sometimes that you just feel like you've known them for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I've known the guy for 10 years. I have nothing but positive things to say about the guy.
Yeah.
Ian's the man.
Yes.
So if you have an opportunity to meet him, it is worth the money. And just, even if you don't do the meet and greets, just having a couple words with him when he signs your stuff, autographs. I mean, he loves to talk, like I said. He genuinely cares about every fan that he has, and so if you get an autograph, you'll have your moment with him. Yeah.
You'll feel seen for sure.
Meet and greet with
10
Ian
out of
Somerhalder,
10.
awesome. Couldn't have went any better.
No.
Actually went better than either one of us
Shook.
could have ever expected.
We were shook.
So awesome.
Yes.
Why are you here now?
I could ask you the same question. However, I'm fairly certain your answer could be summed up all into one little word. Elena.
They did have a lot of panels at the convention, different groupings of the cast and whatnot. We only showed up to one. We maybe spent 15 minutes watching it, and I mean, no, they weren't talking about the Vampire Diaries.
What can we ask from them when they have been doing this for so many years? They probably are just kind of tired of continuing to ask the same questions. So if you do go, we didn't realize that you can ask them questions in the panel and you line up. We probably would have stayed longer if we knew, we could line up and ask questions. So if you do get the opportunity, try to ask them something fresh and new for them to get excited about that. But we walked over to one of the panels, and some of the conversations is just man, the struggle is real, and it's really hot.
And then you're also spending a lot of time elsewhere,
Yeah.
with waiting in line for photo ops, autographs, and especially the photo ops. And so if you do have extra time, you kind of I just want to chill out. I'm not sure if I want to sit through a panel now. But
If you get overstimulated like we both do by crowds, definitely you're going to want to take a moment for yourself because you are constantly around people all the time.
yes. So if you haven't been to a convention or anything like that and you know how that works, just be warned that, in my opinion, unless you absolutely love the celebrity that you want to get a photo with, photo ops aren't really worth it. They take up the most time. They're huge lines. You're waiting for anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, too. And it's a very weird experience. You're kind of just funneled through like a assembly line.
Like you're at a theme park.
Yeah, theme park. Like you're waiting in line, you get on the ride's over in 2 seconds, and you get off and you go on your merry way. They kind of just funnel you in, single file. You walk behind a curtain, the celebrity's there, the photographer's there, and you just walk up real quick. Sometimes they allow you to put your arm around them. Sometimes they give you like the rundown, like don't touch them, don't do this, don't do that. They snap a photo. You might be able to say thank you for your time or whatever it may be, and then you're off. And then they funnel the next group in. And they're also very expensive. They can be very pricey. So unless you absolutely need a photo, I don't recommend photo ops. One more thing about the photo ops is that in the venue, since the venue was smaller, is that especially for the Paul and Ian photo ops, the line went out the building and like down the road a little bit, and there was not a cloud in the sky, and it was just full-blown sun just blasting down on us. So they were handing out water and stuff like that, but it was uncomfortable at times to be standing outside for long periods of time just in the blistering sun. So that kind of was unfortunate.
Something we will say, kudos to the Epicon event, is that, and their volunteers and their crew, is they continued to make sure that everyone was hydrated, and they kept bringing waters out, which is amazing. We do recommend Universal Studios type of fans out there with like little spurts of water moments, because if this was only springtime, I can imagine summertime conventions. But yes, if you go, just mentally prepare yourself for comfort. Also, girls like me, fashion girlies, heels is gonna be a no. It's a hard, just don't do it. Wear yourself some cute Converses, put some rhinestones on them, and I highly recommend to be comfortable because you're gonna be walking around. So we can be cute from here all the way down, but wear some comfortable shoes.
There are plenty more of these to go around. Who's next? I can do this all day.
If you want any kind of interaction with the celebrity, the autographs and selfies are the way to go, because you walk up to their table while they're getting the item you want signed or photographed, whatever it may be. You have a few moments to be able to chit chat with them, and most of the time they're very, very friendly and more than happy to have a quick conversation with you while you're at the table. And so that's a more personable, more rewarding experience, is to do the autographs or the selfies. And then obviously the selfies, you can just hand them your phone, they take the selfie, you take the selfie, or you can hand it to one of the crew members or the staff. Volunteers, and they'll take a photo of you and the other and the celebrity. So the best experiences we had with the cast was doing the selfies and autographs.
Something I will highly recommend that he does really good at, and I'm really bad for some reason on some people, is have something that you know you're going to talk to them about when you go to the autograph table to do either a selfie, an autograph, or both. I kind of black out with some people and I'm just quiet. I'm just like, hi, and then we take the picture. But he does a great job, and I really recommend, if you get nervous sometimes like I do, think of a couple things that you can talk to them so you really take up that time as they're signing. Because I will say 99% of them from when we went this time, they really do want to talk to you, and they're very welcoming. I was extremely surprised on a lot of them that if we wanted to, we could have stayed there for a minute talking to them. But personally, my life was flashing because I've been watching this show for years. And Chad did a little better because I don't think he was as a fangirling like I was.
My main thing was Ian and Paul. I'll get their autographs, because that's what I got originally for her for Christmas, was autographs from Paul and Ian. As I watched the show, obviously gained a couple more favorite characters, and so while we were at the convention, we kind of started adding on more autographs and more selfies and stuff like that, I wanted to get Tyler and Matt Dunnan's autograph and selfies.
Most of the time, it's not too late for you to get some of the selfies and autographs. You can go up to their booths, and there's a barcode that you can scan with your phone. And we did that with some of our favorites that we're just, we're here, let's do it. And it was very much worth it. There are some of the more popular characters like Bonnie and Caroline that we did not get to do because we waited too long. So that's moving forward. The popular characters, don't mess with it, like get the tickets ahead of time. But just so you do know, some of them you do have an opportunity to purchase that like on the spot.
So originally I didn't have any idea what I would have them autograph. Typically they have a massive spread at a table where you could just get all different kinds of photos from different parts of the show that they can sign. I always thought that them just signing a photograph is kind of
lame,
boring, very boring. So when we were out and about in the town going to the gift shops and stuff, we did go to this one shop and they had steaks, like vampire steaks. So I grabbed one. I was like, oh, this is cool. It's pretty pointy and it's got some surface area where you could sign it and whatever. So I was like, okay, I got a steak. And then later on, I was looking at it and I kind of wanted Paul Wesley and Ian Somerhalder to sign individually on each side. And so the steak only had like 2 clear sides, and I was kind of concerned. I'm like, what side is the best thing? I really studied this overnight. Nobody else at the convention had a steak.
Yeah.
That was they're getting signed, and then everybody who signed the steak
was like
commented about how cool that was.
Yeah. And you also got a hat too.
Correct. So
That says Rippa.
There we go.
Yeah.
Rippa. So, as you know, Stefan is a Ripper. So, it was only fitting that I would get Joseph Morgan and Paul Wesley to sign the Ripper hat. So that was cool. So I had Ian and Paul sign one of the steaks, and then the other steak I had Zach and Michael sign.
And hopefully when we go next time, we can get more of the cast to sign it, because we met other cast members, but like we said, there's so much going on that you think of things later on. So we definitely could have had other people that we did meet sign it, but a lot was happening.
Right. And the funny thing about Ian, the whole time we're in line, his people or the staff of volunteers were saying he's not personalizing anything, because I'm sure he was behind schedule because he likes to talk to everybody and give everybody time of day. So they kept reiterating, he's not personalizing any item. He's not personalizing any item, meaning he's just going to sign his name. I spent a lot of time trying to find the perfect side for him to sign. And so I picked it perfectly. I get to the booth. I tell this person, this is the side I want to sign. And making sure they're passing it down the table to get to him. And I'm watching the steak. I'm watching it to make sure they're not turning it over or flipping it or anything like that. It gets to Ian. He grabs it. And he's like, wow, look at this. This is cool. Wow, man, that would hurt. He's flipping it around. He's tossing it around. I'm stressing out because I'm like, whatever. He slams down the table and he's about to take the Sharpie marker to it. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. And I flip it over. I'm like, can you please sign this side? And he just fills out the whole thing. Cheers, y'all. XO. Signs it Ian, and then in quotations, Damon. Whatever. Just completely I didn't even ask him to do that.
Yeah.
And he just went to town. So
He went
love that.
above and beyond, and he remembered us from the meet and greet, and he was, again, super talkative and personable, and like, you guys, what you guys are doing is so great. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you for being here. It was so cool.
So yeah, very, very cool.
Because we were just like, dang, all he can write is his name, and then here he's like flipping it, stabbing himself, and then like takes up the whole space. And when I tell you Chad was like doing the math, like the math was mathing the night before in order for their signatures to like make sense and like fit, because we do definitely want Nina to sign it with the steak with Ian and Paul. So there goes Ian, just like completely the whole thing, and it was
side, but
it's so worth it and it's incredible.
So I will say that Joseph Morgan, I can only imagine that these guys are just burned out with all the photo ops, all the autographs, just nonstop, all day, every minute, bam, 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 bam. I don't know. Ian does it. He's got the freaking his gas tank never runs out.
It's absorption.
Yeah.
That's what does it.
Right. So other than that, you could tell that everybody else was kind of getting burned out towards the end of the day, or the second half of the day. So Joseph Morgan was, I think I was the last person in line for an autograph. So Didn't really say anything, didn't say much.
He's
just
very
kind of
quiet.
Very quiet.
But maybe that's his personality. Like, that's what we're trying to figure out is, like, it's cool when you meet certain people that you're like, you just know them of the show. Of course, they're a different person. But Klaus is so epic. He's one of my top 3 favorites. And he's so epic. And then you meet him in person and he's like a little puppy. Like, he's very quiet and shy, I feel like.
You also got, I joined her, but you did get a photo op with...
Oh, Klaus and Enzo? Or Klaus and Elijah?
Correct.
Them two.
Right.
So we did a photo op with Klaus and Elijah. Elijah, we definitely need to, he's going to insert the photo, but it's like what normal people see and then what my boyfriend sees. That's our joke because he sees Elijah. And I don't expect any of them to be as personable or friendly, but again, they're all just so funny where they come out of nowhere and they're so friendly and you're like, oh my God, and you look like you're best friends.
Daniel Gillies is Elijah.
It was cool.
But yeah, all the selfies and photo ops that not only with us, but like on the Facebook page and stuff, other people posting, like he very animated individual.
Yeah, he seems cool.
So super cool. And then we also got a selfie with Enzo.
Enzo, when I tell you, Enzo is giving Enzo in person, he is. I definitely was scared for my life. And he looks exactly the same. Homeboy has not aged. Good for him. Oh, do I tell them what we learned? We didn't know?
Right, so completely mind blown, still in denial that he is not British. Yeah. He has such a solid British accent in the show that I didn't even question it.
We gaslit each other.
I think he even had a slight accent when we met him briefly and got the selfie.
We were convinced he had an English accent that day.
I don't know if he was in character, but he definitely was acting like Enzo.
Yeah.
And then we were watching
like
YouTube videos of him.
Yeah.
And he was talking normal, or not normal, but talking without the accent. And I'm like, wait a second. And we did some research, did some digging, and he's not British, and he does not have a British accent.
Well, he's British. Remember, he's British. He's
but just not really full blown like accent British.
This sounds like the beginning of an accusation.
Completely shook, mind blown, when we found out that he did not have a British accent.
So
because
great
that
job.
thing was legit.
Yes.
Oh, where is my lighter? Maggie's lighter, I should say. I wonder what she'd think of all this.
And then we also did Tyler Lockwood.
Yeah, Michael Trevino. Super cool guy. So I had him sign my steak.
Yes. I think he's one that next time I want us to do a meet and greet with him and Matt Donovan.
Correct. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Him, and then next who we met was
Zach Rorig.
Yeah. Super kind as well in person.
Yeah, very cool.
And then we also were able to meet Lexi, who we told this day we need to ask Julie Plec why Lexi, because she should have been there the whole time in the show. We love her so much.
She was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ariel Kibble, and she was so kind. She's so gorgeous in person as well. And I think she's someone else too that I would love to do a meet and greet. Sebastian Roach, who is Papa Michelson, as I like to say, or Michael Michelson. The energy that guy brought to the convention, anytime you're like waiting in line, he was like the mascot of the convention because he would like pop out of nowhere and he's like hyping everyone up. And again, that is just so cool to see how humbling they are to be so kind, and like you can feel that they're so grateful. So definitely Papa Michelson is on our to-do list next time.
But yeah, we did have a Bonnie sighting very briefly, unfortunately, because we were trying to
that was close.
get a last minute signing, but she was sold out.
Super sold out.
So we saw her for like 1 second at her booth and then she disappeared. I never saw Caroline ever, so I don't know what she was doing.
She was booked and busy. Okay.
She was popping in, popping out, but did not even have a sighting, Caroline sighting.
Booked and busy. Kat Graham seems absolutely amazing, but definitely both Bonnie and Caroline would love to meet.
And then the last thing was I got Paul Wesley to sign the Ripper hat, and then got him to sign my steak as well. And this was at the very end of the day. He was like an hour behind, because the thing that's annoying too is they give you time slots of when you need to be in line for your group for signings and stuff like that, or photo ops and whatnot. The thing is that these actors do photo ops together. They do solos, they do group photo ops, so everybody has to sync up and they have to check it all off before they can move on to their next thing. So obviously Ian and the Paul duo photo op, probably it got backed up, and then he had to do his solos, and then finally he moved on to autographs. So we were waiting for a while doing that, but we were pretty much, I think, like one of the last people to get
We're the second to last to get his autograph that
an
day.
autograph. And you could tell he was burned out.
He's done because he was filming. What happened is he was filming previously, so they actually it looks like he almost like was not able to do some meet and greets that people had purchased and things like that because Homeboy was filming and he has a whole schedule, so he was burnt out by the time we got to him. He tweets in front of us, and I really can't.
I handed him the steak, and you know, just like Ian, he signed the whole side, personalized
Super
it,
nice.
very cool. Pretty much didn't lift his head at all to make eye contact or talk, just was like signing. And then I handed him the Ripper hat, and he starts to sign it, and then he realizes what it says, and while he's signing it, he just like completely tweaks, and he's just like, Ripper, like in this weird, funny, crazy, it just came out of nowhere.
Like in the Klaus accent.
Yeah.
And then he like locks back in, and then okay.
Yeah.
Thanks guys. Thank you so much for being here. It was so funny because we were not expecting that at all because he was so serious.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny.
Love that.
It was out of nowhere. Looking down and just in the Klaus accent,
We'll take.
tweaking out. Ripper.
Loved it. We also want to talk about some of the merch that we purchased while we were there. We definitely want to shout out two of these store owners or the stores and what their names are and their Instagrams because the obsession is so for real, and I almost left all of my money at these merch stands. So I had to give myself a budget, but I want to show and share with you guys the two crew necks that I bought. So the first one is, I'm 100% pro Damon and Elena. So this one says, promise me this is forever. And this is from the shop Beyond Epic. And they also have an Instagram, which is at Beyond Epic as well. So highly recommend to go check them out. And then the second crew neck is from Firefly Shop. And it says, however long it takes, yours Klaus. I'm a huge Caroline and Klaus fan. So really highly recommend to check them out on Instagram because they have so many choices. It was really hard to pick. There's actually a Caroline pink crew neck that I need to get from them as well. So shout out Beyond Epic Shop and Firefly Shop. Love their merch, and there's so many other vendors as well that we'll check out next time.
So overall, it was a great experience. Check it out. Highly recommend it. It's just a really cool place to be in general. So even if it's not for a convention or whatnot, and you're just a Vampire Diaries fan, make like a weekend trip out of it. There's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of cool little hotels nearby. The town is super sweet, super cool. And if you're a fan, it's just a really cool place to reminisce about the show and see cool things and go on tours, buy some cool merchandise, take a lot of photo ops, and just enjoy yourself.
And also, we didn't realize that there was other filming locations that we didn't get to check out during the Vampire Stalkers tour. So we failed to do our homework on that. So definitely, like, there's a Vampire Stalkers tour and they have certain places they go to, but there's many other places as well that you can go and visit, and you don't need a tour guide to go to.
If you're asking, well, what the hell, where's the Salvatore house? It was destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's gone.
you would think that would be the #1 spot to go check out on the tour. I don't know much of the history, but from what they said, the previous owners didn't want to do anything with it, and it kind of degraded and deteriorated away, and then they just knocked it down.
And now there's a car dealership, I believe, on top of it.
Yeah, so
But
it's unfortunate.
We will say as well with the stay, something that we are learning is there's Airbnbs. There are Vampire Diary Airbnb themed, and we highly recommend those too, and check those out. Some of them can be pretty pricey. There is an Airbnb on the Lockwood Mansion estate. It's like a guest house, and you can hang around the actual estate while you stay at the Airbnb. So we definitely are going to check that out. But there's others. I think you could even stay at Caroline's house and things like that. So really make it a fun themed weekend. Go big or go home. But if you don't have a big budget, then like what we did when we're just newbies to this, we stayed at a very small, quaint hotel, very close, which we also think was a very good idea. But next time we might want to do one of those Airbnbs. Check those out.
They can be very pricey and they get booked up quick.
Oh, yes.
So you need to book them sometime 6 months,
Yes.
probably like a year in
Yes.
advance. But that's pretty much all we have for you on that. Highly recommend going to one of these. We'll be going to another one in the future for sure. Once again, my name is Chad Scheifele. Thank you for joining me. And this is
Lady Natasha Fines. Thank you guys so much for supporting my boyfriend. Go click follow if you like his videos.
subscribe, turn notifications on, and we will catch you in the next one.
Thank you, baby.
Take one.
You have lipstick.
What? What the
I should have let it happen.